This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Trout Routes. Trout Routes is a premier fishing app that strives to empower trout anglers with information to help you go further and discover new waters, new places, and new faces. Check them out at troutroutes.com. Trout Routes is proud to be able to connect you to local resources and experts, such as fly shops, guides, local brands, and nonprofits. Be sure to check them out at troutroutes.com or the Apple App Store and Google Play Store to download the app today.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls. Dan Hall, we got him back on here this evening, but we're without Dave Young, and I'm running everything. How you doing, Dan?
It happens. This time zone stuff screws me up.
I had you muted there. See, I've already messed up.
We need Dave back.
We need Dave back. You know, we were going to be mad at him for being gone, but I don't guess we can now.
No, you just proved that.
Oh, jeez. Well, here I'm looking at the screen on our talking points, and then I look over, and I'm like, why can't I hear Dan? Oh, it's muted.
That happens. It happens.
Yeah, that's all right. So
Yeah,
we've got a...
back. I hate that I missed the other day, but
Yeah, you missed the other day. We had Tavin Dillard on here, the comedian, man. He's pretty funny. He's a good guy. So tonight we've got special guest Alan Robinson with the Future Hunter Summit at the Lazy CK Ranch there in Texas. And basically what we want to do this evening is we want to center this around, giving you an upfront kind of in-person aspect of what would happen there if you were to visit the Future Hunter Summit at the Lazy CK Ranch. Kind of like Alan standing there talking to you right before you're getting ready to go on your adventure there at the ranch. So now please welcome with me Alan Robinson, General Manager of the Lazy CK Ranch, and he also heads up the Future Hunter Summit. Alan, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I don't know how I'm going to live up to that intro guy. I mean, the last guy was hilarious. The last guy was a comedian, and then but we have Alan here today, so y'all buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up, folks. You're going to get filled full of information tonight. So this is kind of like, you're going to fill us full of everything of what the Lazy CK Ranch has to offer there for the Future Hunter Summit.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to be on with you guys. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun hour. So.
Yes, it sure is. So just to start off things, just give us a little bit of insight on what the mission is there for the Future Hunter Summit.
Yes, sir. So we wanted to, we really wanted to create an environment. We wanted to share, our, our knowledge, like probably a lot of the stuff that we take for granted and how we grew up. But our main mission is we wanted to, as people left our curriculum, whatever that was going to be, we built it backwards. We started with the mission, and the mission was, we want to teach people, train people to be fully confident hunters by the time they leave us in our 6 days and 5 nights, or I didn't even know how long it was going to be at that point. I hadn't even built any of it yet.
Yeah.
We wanted, but as people left, whatever that was going to be fully confident that, hey, I can do this. I am a hunter now. I can book my hunt. I can go on a trip. I know the basics. I know what to do and what not to do. And I can go be a hunter. And so that we started with that mission. And then we built it backwards from there.
That's awesome.
it is.
You all right there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm good. I
Did you
too much crap pulled up here.
I was like, did he get his talking points?
I couldn't find them. I got other work stuff pulled up still on my computer, so I'm scrolling through.
Work time is over.
Well, it's never over for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, if you could tell us a little bit more about the ranch, where it's located, and the size of it, and what you guys have to offer with it.
Sure. Yeah, we're located in what's called the Hill Country region of Texas, really on the western edge of the Hill Country, about 10 miles as the crow flies from the YO, where it kind of all started. We're in the exotic mecca of hunting in the country. All high fences all around us. We're 7,000 acres. We hunt on 12,000. Really, we hunt on a lot of our neighbors' places that border us. They just don't want to deal with the commercial hunting aspect, but they have all this game. So we take that off their hands for us. I think we have over 40 or 50 bow setups. So we're extreme bow hunting ranch. Have been for about 5 years. I believe that nobody bow hunts better than we do. So a lot of experience in that, and then 30 or 40 rifle blinds too. And we like to get creative with our stuff. So we're always thinking of ideas and ways to, spend our owners' money. So we got a tree house with a 3-bedroom tree house with 3 different bow setups off of it over this pond. Yeah, it's awesome. We've got one in a windmill. We've got bunches of them in trees. We custom designed and built this panel blind that is real dark, but it takes your scent out. You guys know those pop-up blinds.
Yeah.
Man, you can bake in those things. It's like an oven. So we found a way to alleviate that. We had a lot. We have 25 plus different species of exotic animals from all over the world, Africa, Asia, South America, all over, and then native and genetic whitetail deer that is still the king. Whitetail is still the king.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we were talking about there before we got on. And, you all have a ton of different species there to hunt. But like you're talking about, all over the country, people still strive to come hunt the giant whitetails.
Yeah, it's incredible. A Kansas farm boy like myself, it took a little adjusting to. I wasn't expecting that level of demand, I guess, from people all over to come and kill these huge whitetail deer, or even just, we'll get a lot of people from, let's just say Mississippi. Okay. I'm not picking on Mississippi, but they'll say, hey, can we come hunt a 140 to 150 whitetail? We've never seen one that big around here, and those are the kinds of things that we kind of take for granted. And this guy's going on a trip of a lifetime, an adventure, a deer that he's never had a chance to harvest. So that's really cool. It's a really cool thing. We whitetail hunt October, November, December, but because we hunt a lot of exotics and we're a commercial hunting operation, we hunt 12 or 11 months out of the year. We don't hunt in August. It's too hot.
Yeah.
We all leave. We all go somewhere else. We get off the ranch. But whitetail our whitetail season sold out for the next 3 years. So anybody listening, sorry, we don't have any spots.
Man, that's crazy.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, we'll kill 200 plus whitetail a year for the next 3-4 years straight, just book solid.
Wow.
Man, that is crazy. So you were talking about one of your favorite animals there to kill.
I am
completely
and utterly obsessed with hunting axis deer.
That's what
I can't get enough of it, guys. I can't. It's all my family eats, first of all, so there's that aspect of it.
Well, that's the best meat out there. I've heard it's twice as good as elk.
I think, I believe that. I've eaten them all. Neil guy's right up there. Elk is fantastic too, but axis, there's just something about that axis deer. I don't know, all those Indian animals, the axis deer, the Neil guy, and the black buck, they're all fantastic. I don't know why. I've heard a lot of different reasons why, but and they're fun to hunt. They're cagey. You guys probably know this, but when they scream, it sounds like if you're sitting in a tree stand and there's an axis that starts screaming behind you and your brain's not there, you're thinking about what you're eating for dinner or thinking about the cold beer in the truck or whatever you're thinking about, it'll make you jump out of your seat. It's unbelievable.
So it's kind of like our screech owls here in West Virginia, probably, right, Dan?
Yeah, probably. Maybe worse than that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So you all have a bunch of different packages there. Tell us about some of the packages that you all offer. if they go along with this Future Hunter Summit, or are those packages separate?
Yeah, no, everything's separate from this. This is really the only thing that we do. We have the SEI leadership training. We've had that for the last 3 years. My staff is gearing up for that. It's next weekend. That's 40 SEI chapter presidents from around the country come in, and SEI comes in and they train them. Other than a few things like that in the Future Hunter Summit, it's all, our packages start at 3 days, 2 nights, 4 days, 3 nights, or 5 days, 4 nights. If you're a bow hunter, you want to be there a little longer. So you pay your daily rates just like you would anywhere else, $1,300 for a 3 day, 2 night, and then you can come home what you want. You kind of harvest off the price list there, shoot off the menu, so to speak. It's not that easy. It's a big place. It's really hairy. It's hunting. I mean, I've said this before. I don't get into those arguments with people anymore. We know who our clients are, and we know what we do. Yep. We offer you a fun weekend. We're a fun weekend to come and hopefully try to kill an axis deer and enjoy some time with your family or your buddies and be back to work on Monday.
So
that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So all your meals, the hunting guide, the lodging, everything like that's included. Plus you all have other activities there on the ranch. You can fish, you can swim, you got a game room, you got ranch tours, different things like that.
Yeah, thousands and thousands and thousands of arrowheads. We find them all day, every day. All of that stuff you mentioned, horseshoes, washers. The cabins are beautiful. 2 beds in each cabin and a bathroom and a shower. The chef is unbelievable. Our staff really is unbelievable. And that's honestly, and anybody listening that will know this, but you're only as good as your staff. And our staff is incredible.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead there, Dan. My live chat thing's messing up for some reason.
So included with that Hunter Summit, that's the whole kit and caboodle, right? That gets them certified as a hunter, goes to the safety courses and all that, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and sorry, I should have hit on that next.
No, that's fine.
I'm a little slow. That package is $2,500. It's 6 days, 5 nights. If people are listening and they're trying to do the math on that, honestly, that's a $6,000 package per person. But we're able to bring that cost down. We wanted to try, as you guys know, as your listeners know, it's a really cost prohibitive activity. It's expensive to get in this game. I mean, my God, just like y'all, we've got thousands of dollars in camo and archery equipment and, guns and ammo and all kinds of stuff that you need. And so it's not like picking up a set of golf clubs, even though that's expensive too. It's a lot more expensive than that. So we were able to get it down to $2,500. That was a mission of ours. Let's get it down. How do we do that? So we got Hornady involved. We got Savage involved. We got Numa is our camo sponsor. They're wonderful. They're all wonderful. Gosh dang, I'm going to get fired if I don't hit all these loopholes. Hogue knives. So these guys are kicking in cash and product. And then we're operating the whole thing at probably a little bit of a loss. But we feel good about what we're doing. So that matters too.
Oh, absolutely. So now, like, say I get my son or my daughter involved in this, what would be a fee, like, if I wanted to come down as well?
I think it's just $100 a day. And so I'm glad you asked that question, Dan. The perception of stuff like this is it's a kids camp. Well, it's not really. We're not set up to be a kids camp. I mean, we're a commercial hunting operation. We're in the kids camp mecca of the country too. I mean, you've got all of these camps down on the Guadalupe River, but we're not that. We have a lot of kids that come through, but they got to be chaperoned. We're not set up or trained to do that stuff. But our very first summit, we had a 9-year-old in there with a corporate CFO, with a lawyer, with a couple of marketing specialists from some different companies, and it was a pretty eclectic, really awesome group. That's the one that I think about a lot. It makes my heart smile to think about looking in that room and seeing all these different people, all these different ages, all these different skill levels going through the summit all together.
Sure. Now, how does that work? Like, say somebody that's actually hunted, say 2 or 3, 4, 5 years, they just haven't done well. They still really don't know what they're doing. Is that still an option for them?
Oh yeah. I mean, we've had guys and gals that have been hunting for for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lady that, and this could be a guy that just says, hey, I've been coming to places like yours for 20 years and I don't remember how to cape, skin, and gut my own animal. I've always wanted to learn more about quartering and processing. I wanted to pick up a bow. I've never done that. So all the way down to I've literally never picked up a gun before in my life. Can I come to your class? So it's, we might scale it up at some point for the more experienced people. I don't know. I've had some thoughts on that, but yeah, absolutely. To answer your question, we've had a lot of different skill levels sitting in that room for sure.
Awesome. And that's, you guys offer what all is offered in that package for kill?
You mean in terms of the harvest for what you're going to hunt when you're with us?
Correct. Yes.
So it originally started in the document I sent you guys. I originally started and I thought we're on the MLD program through the state of Texas. So our tags are provided from the state of Texas for, based on our biologists and our numbers. And we work with our biologists on harvest recommendations and they'll issue us X amount of tags, right? Well, generally at the end of whitetail season, which for us ends in February, at the end of February, we have a lot of whitetail doe tags left over. And so I thought, man, let's schedule a week there. And to start this off, let's schedule a week there. And we did. So we can kill 10 whitetail does. We need to kill about 120 a year. So we did that and it was fine. The problem that we had was, it turns out that not a lot of people can leave in February. They can't leave their jobs. They can't leave school. It's really just a bad time. So starting next year, I've moved all 3 weeks. We have an open week. That's anybody can come. Anybody that wants to come can come. We have a women's week, which is awesome. It's try to provide an environment for the ladies to learn on their own. And then we have an industry week. So anybody that's listening, like I know, for instance, our industry / open week is in a couple of weeks. We kind of open it up, but Savage is sending 2 people. I think Hornady's sending a person. I'm pretty sure the Loophole rep's coming. So but those are all 3 next year going to be in June. One's going to be in June and 2 are going to be in July. It's on our website. And we will be harvesting exotic does at that point based on what our population numbers tell us we need to. So it could be a black buck doe. It could be a fallow doe. It could be an axis doe, nice. Something like that.
Nice.
Shoot, I'm half tempted to get involved in this.
Yeah.
You will learn something, I promise you. I still learn stuff. I'm sitting there watching one of my guys teach the gear packing class, and I know we're going to get into this. And the Numa CMO Jen Mohan, she'll come and she'll start talking about all these different fabrics and all of this different stuff that I'm not spun up on, and I'm sitting there with my jaw on the ground thinking how much I'm learning.
Yeah. So during this time that you all have the Future Hunter Summit going on, you have one event coordinator, you have one chef, one helper, a cleaner, 10 campers, all there in that session. And you do 5 sessions a year, right?
We do 3. Yes,
3,
sir, we
okay.
do 3.
Up to 5, I guess that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that document I sent you guys was like the original. That's like the holy grail. That's how we started building it out. My former hunting manager and I, Will Latham, and I started building it out that way.
I hear you. So going on to a bunch of other things there, like we said, we want to kind of give people an in-depth view of what's going on there while you're at this. You all do a safety classroom beforehand, before you send anybody out on these, right?
Yeah, so we start with hunter safety, and here's the crazy thing. You guys might not even know this. You don't have to show your hunter safety to buy a hunting license in Texas. Okay. So let me say that again. You don't have to show your hunter safety to buy a hunting license in Texas. However,
wow,
it is illegal for you to hunt in Texas without a hunter safety certification.
Okay.
See,
that's
now,
so
it's like that here.
Checks you, if he shows up on the ranch, he or she, shows up on the ranch and they check you and they say, well, what's your hunter safety number or where's your card or whatever, and you don't have it, they're going to write you a ticket.
Man, that's nuts.
So we start there, and even people that, I kind of joke, usually about half the room has already had that done. some people, there was a couple of guys that did it because you can do a lot of this stuff online now. You can't do the field course. We take them through the field course too.
Yeah.
But a couple of guys did it like the week before they came. And I'm like, guys, didn't y'all read the itinerary? I'm teaching this to y'all on Monday afternoon. We're going through this together. So we do that. We start that. And even if you've already done it, we do ask that you please be there by Monday because you're building a camaraderie. We're going to get into more of that later, but you're building a camaraderie with your fellow, campers, let's call them, your attendees. And you're going to be paired with one of them when you guys start hunting later on that week.
Yeah.
So we start that. And we don't just teach safety. We teach hunter safety Monday afternoon. We teach safety the entire time. The entire time we're there, we're constantly talking about safety, teaching safety. You guys know how important that is. We're talking about bow harnesses. And, there's a lot of stuff that we're probably throwing out there that you can't even put, unless I recorded us the entire time. I'm not even remembering until it comes up. And it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, let me tell you guys a quick story about how a bow harness saved my life one time, So we're teaching safety the whole time.
Nice. Dan, are you getting my live chats now? Because I didn't see you respond to that one. I was like, yeah, his is messed up.
Oh, no, yeah, I just got it. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, I got one more thing before you go on with that. So
give me a minute to figure this name out.
So one of the things here, like you're talking about that hunter safety card. Now, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think here in West Virginia, you had to be, if you were born before a certain year, you didn't have to have that.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's 1970. It might be 1970 or 75 in Texas.
Now, is that the same thing for Texas or?
Yep. If you were born before 1970 or 1975, I don't remember which. I think might be 1970.
Yeah.
You don't need it. Still, it doesn't hurt to have it. You're gonna learn something.
Yeah, you definitely gonna learn something, and I think it's that's another thing that needs to be brought back in our communities is that within the school education system and within the programs there at the school, because I took mine at my middle school.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. My granddad taught hunter safety for 30 years in Kansas. So I was really good friends with the game warden, and I remember sitting through it when I was 9 years old, 10 years old, and he's the one that taught me. And I will. The attendees don't know this, but they'll be a part in that when I'm teaching that, where I get pretty nostalgic and I think about him and I think about how much he taught me and, taking me hunting and training the bird dogs and all of that stuff that we did. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the same pretty much every state for that year frame.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a federal thing or it went state by state. So.
Yeah, but that'll roll us right into our salute to valor for this evening, which is sorry for this, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Fatima Jaghori, he did a couple tour to Afghanistan. He was served in the Army where he's rank of a sergeant. He did serve for 8 years. His first deployment to Iraq was with the 1st Infantry Division. He received 2 Army Achievement Awards, 3 Army Accommodation Awards, and he was discharged in 2017. So we thank you for your service. Sorry I butchered your name. It's the best I think I could do. Mike didn't give me any heads up on this guy's name. So.
No, you did. I don't know about the second part, but I know that you did the first name right, Fatima. That's right on the first one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your service, sir. If you're listening, we appreciate you, and we'll be thinking about you and your sacrifices 4th of July coming up.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, sir, for your service, and God bless you. All right, so back into the summit. You all go over a basic pack list while you are there in the wild. So a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of our listeners have their own little pack list that they go by, but this is a pretty in-depth list that I've seen here. It even talks about having playing cards in there if you get if you get bored. No, I'm just kidding. But it talks about your first aid kit, flashlight, headlamp, extra batteries, matches, lighter, paracord, different things like that. So tell us a little bit about how you all go over that pack with them. Okay.
Well, literally our guides and a lot of our staff even we work at a hunting ranch. It's our office. It's what we do all day. And then what do we do in our free time? We hunt.
Yep.
And a lot of our guides are big Western hunters, and we thought it'd be a good idea to show everything that goes in there. I mean, these guys, and you guys might have done this stuff, but I have never done it. I want to do it. I'm waiting until my son gets a little older. But I mean, they're talking about weighing everything to the ounce, because you're carrying everything with you that you need to survive on your back.
Oh yeah.
And so, everything that goes in there, stuff that you wouldn't even think about. I mean, I know I hunt access a lot on my brother's place, and I can literally, he's got a small place, but he's got a lot of free range access to come in there close. And, I'm bringing a pack with me to my bow blind, and I can literally see my truck from my bow blind.
Wow.
But it's stuff you need. It's stuff you need with you. You gotta have it with you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And so we go over all that stuff with them. One of our guys will literally take out his Western Mountain pack, and he'll start unpacking it. Hadn't touched it since he got back from his elk hunt, and this is everything I have, and this is why. So it's one of the things that we do in the hot Texas afternoons, sitting in the lodge and kind of get everybody hands on.
No, I think that's awesome, because you all, like I said, you all list things there that people wouldn't even think of, that I don't even have in mind. I mean, I have paracord in mind, which a lot of people don't even think of that, but
We know you got snacks in yours, so don't lie about that.
I definitely got snacks in there. I had some Little Debbie cakes in mine from last year that I was going through some stuff when we started out turkey season there, and I was going, I keep a lot of stuff in a big pack that I use deer hunting, because I deer hunt more than I do anything, and I took some stuff out of my pack, and I'm like, oh, there's a Christmas, one of them Christmas tree cakes from Little Debbie.
I'm glad you asked that, though. Jogged my memory. I'll ask people, the attendees will get their goodie bags from, like I said, from Savage and Leupold and Numa and Hornady and, all these guys. But I'll ask the class, and I'll ask you guys, I'll ask your listeners, if you guys are doing a live chat, I'll say, what do you're being dropped in the middle of the Colorado wilderness, or you're in Alaska. What do you think is the most important thing, the one most important thing that you have on you that could save your life? And people will raise their hand and they'll say, well, it's my rifle, or it's my bow, or it's my lighter, or whatever. And I personally think it's your knife. Your knife will save your life. Your gun, you're going to drop it, your bow, the string's going to break, or whatever. But your knife could save your life. And so we talk about some of that stuff too.
Yeah, definitely. I would say your knife, and then I also, because I was talking about that paracord thing I've also got a flint, striking rock in there with that, and a little thing that you can strike and start a fire with too. So
yeah,
us reading through the basic pack list, something I would add to it would possibly be like a metal canteen, something that you can boil water through.
Oh, definitely,
yeah, like God dang it! What the hell?
That's why I said it that way, because I can't think what it's called.
A jet boil.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you guys also teach about like how to trail blood after a shot and all that through this course, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do. We what to look for. Surprisingly enough, or maybe not. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not the best at it. Our guides are pretty good at it, but who's really, really good at it is my 9-year-old son. That's why he is unbelievable at spotting blood on a leaf, on a rock, on a piece of grass, in the dark, in the daylight. I don't know, maybe it's those young eyes, but he's really, and that's half of why he likes to go bow hunt with me. He likes to sit in the blind, but he loves it when I shoot something. He likes to get down there and see if he can find it before the dog does.
Man, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's another thing I was going to ask is if y'all do it with dogs, or y'all just do it with people.
Yeah, no, we have a blood tracking dog, a blue lacy on the range. All the guides, usually almost all the guides, have their own blood tracking dog that they use for guest animals. Yeah,
man, that's cool.
That's really cool.
That's really helpful too, because I mean, sometimes you can lose that blood trail, and then them dogs will find it.
Oh, especially with these new guns, these 6.5s and stuff. They're so fast, they're so flat.
Yeah,
I mean, we're seeing more and more people show up with those, and more people that are making really good shots with zero blood.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've talked about that on previous episodes. That 6.5 Creedmoor
I haven't had a problem yet.
It's a good round, but we've talked about it before. I mean, it's got such of a small pass through hole that you don't get much bleed out.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible long distance round though.
Yeah, I mean, it'll take an animal down, but when you're going strictly on blood trail and things like that, if you're out like that, good luck. You need the dog.
Yeah, you got to have the dog. That's right. Yeah, we've had a lot of guys, and then you go back and hopefully the guy recorded it, and he's like, no, look, he hunched up. I mean, you shot him. I mean, you got him. You know, we got to go back and find that sucker. We have no blood, no hair, nothing. It's pretty incredible.
So now, do all the guides carry first aid kits? I know you have like a thing there on your website where you all go over what you should carry in a first aid kit, or does every hunter have their own?
Every hunter should have their own. What you mean if you guys just come down and access hunt with us next week, we have them in the truck.
Okay.
And we have them all over the ranch, wherever the guides park in the truck, wherever you guys are, if you guys are spotting and stalking, you know. And he's got a radio on his hip too, so he can, you know, turn that radio on and reach any of us anywhere on the ranch anytime. Thank God we haven't had any major issues, but we're definitely prepared for it. Our owner's wife is a doctor.
Oh,
so
man, that's
our
awesome.
first aid kits are awesome.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Tourniquets and stuff, yeah, they're great.
It's probably like a trauma kit in the back of a police car or something.
Yeah. More people get hurt at the skin and shed. That's why we help. That's why we teach them. That's why we teach them how to cage skin and gut and what to do and what not to do. You know.
Now, I was going to ask if that's your biggest issue, or is your biggest issue like a heat exhaustion or heat stress or anything like that?
Damn, Dan. You know what? No, it hasn't been yet. But as soon as you said that,
Dan.
Well, I know Texas ain't cold by any means.
No.
So that's kind of why I was wondering.
Yeah.
No, we haven't had that problem. No, and honestly, you know, the guests aren't, you know, we'll have a guide cut his hand every once in a while or it's real rocky, real hilly, real hairy, a lot of rattlesnakes. Haven't been bit yet. Nobody's been bit yet. Had a lot of close calls on that. Haven't really, honestly, had any, you know, injuries, so to speak. But the guests, you know, if you're our guest there, not this Future Hunter Summit, but if you're our guest there, then you've got a bourbon in your hand while the guide's doing all the work.
Awesome.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. There's not a thing in the world wrong with that.
Now,
that's awesome.
I'm just was looking here on one of the things there for the first aid kit. You have the anti-diarrheal thing, but I'm thinking of water. Like if you are out there, somebody gets stranded or something like that. Do you all carry like a water purification system? One of our is Sawyer Products, and they offer a single use water purification system that easily fits into a pack like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's what Cooper, one of our guides, has that teaches that part of it. So that list you're reading off of, that's probably maybe a half of everything that he's got in his pack.
Yeah.
That was just kind of our start. I would like to know more about that though. That would be great. Maybe we can even we have a big pro shop with all our Numa gear and our Faradyne stuff, you know, Rage broadheads and all of this stuff. You guys can come in and shop while you're on vacation, and maybe we can talk about putting some of that stuff in our pro shop.
Cool. Yeah. I could either you guys could get them from us, or I could get you hooked up with our rep through Sawyer Products. They're amazing products, and they offer, you know, the tick repellent and things like that.
Their tick stuff's awesome.
Oh yeah, the Promethin that you can spray on your equipment and stuff before you go out. They've had a military contract for over 20 some years, so everything that goes out in the field and into a war setting or whatever, even training, is sprayed with that Promethin. And they also have the spray that you can spray on your skin. They're the only company out there that has patented that synthetic version of the Promethin plant, and I believe it's the Picarden plant.
Yeah,
nice. And I know this is another podcast another time, but we probably don't talk about ticks enough, man. That's we don't have a lot of them on the ranch, but everywhere else you go in this country, and they're a major. I mean, the stuff that those things carry, you know, you don't really. I had a buddy back home from Kansas, was down in Texas, got hit by that Lone Star tick, didn't know it, and 2 years later starts having allergic reactions to red meat, can never eat red meat again for the rest of his life. And this guy is like cooking briskets every weekend in Kansas City, and can never touch it again.
I've heard about that. Yeah, it's crazy. I've heard of people getting that allergic, reaction to that specific thing, and it's not uncommon. So you definitely want to try to keep them ticks away if you can. I mean, I know a lot of people just, it kind of passes by their mind and they don't think about it. But, man, this last time we went turkey hunting, I mean, our ticks here in West Virginia have been crazy every year, whether you're spring gobbler hunting or you're deer hunting or you're in the dead of muzzleloader season in the winter. You're going to find a tick on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a firm believer of spraying this stuff around the bottoms of my pants if I don't get to spray it the night before and let it set, but I'll spray my boots.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just like up here working. We walked down a site the other day, and 20 minutes just walking 20 minutes and back to the truck, checking the site out, I pulled over 30 ticks off of me in a 10-20-minute time frame.
That's nuts.
Well, don't start reading about everything that those things carry. I mean, it's unbelievable. A really close friend of mine had a scare. It ended up not being that, but that's what he thought it was. And I was reading, just like you do, I'm sick. I'll read WebMD. I started reading about all that stuff those ticks carry. God dang, that's bad stuff.
I know. Yeah, it sure is.
But yeah, that, like you said, that could fill up a whole nother podcast in itself, talking about them stupid things.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want, I know you guys got some talking points. We skipped the gear packing class is a couple of days into the summit. We talked about future hunters' safety. So we do that on Monday afternoon, and then we do a little bit on Tuesday. You want me to take you through the itinerary, or what were you thinking next?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Let's see. What did we have next here? Let me go.
I think we was going to talk probably about the training.
Yeah.
They offer rifle archery and the shot placement trainings.
But run us through the itinerary there real quick.
Okay. Well, yeah, just like you said, just like I'm talking to you, in my mind, I always kind of run down. Well, we start with hunter safety, obviously. That's Monday afternoon. Then you socialize, eat dinner. Chef's amazing. Hang out by the pool, whatever. Tuesday mornings where the rubber kind of hits the road there. We split up the class 5 and 5. 5 go to the archery range. We have a full 3D archery range. We have these easily tunable bows, these Matthew and PSE bows. So we measure you out. We measure your draw length out. We kind of guess your poundage. We move the peep up and down. We make it fit you, and then you shoot for half a day at the archery range. People just love it.
Nice.
They just ate up with it. The other half's we have a state-of-the-art gun range out to 600 yards, covered state-of-the-art gun range with bleachers setting, and then we've got these Bluetooth cameras that sit in front of the target. So when you shoot, you look up at the screen and you can see where your shot hit. So no spotting scopes and stuff like that. It's all awesome technology. We bring them back in, feed them lunch on Tuesday. Then we do our don't shoot scenarios. That's kind of the field portion. I take them out to the 3D archery range. We talk about different scenarios, stuff to think about. You've got 2 deer, standing, kind of stacked up. Are you going to make that shot on that buck in the front? What about the doe behind? What about the road? What about, think about this. What about these power lines or this, what's over that ridge right there? That deer standing up there, so we do some don't shoot stuff. And then we get into the shot placement class. And it's one of our favorite things to teach. We take them through different animals. You're in an African species, straight up the leg, right into where you think the shoulder, you whitetail hunters, right where you think that shoulder blade's going to be. That's where you want to place that shot. Whitetail hunters, this is the crease. This is what you're looking for. His foot's forward, his foot's back. This is what the shoulder blade does, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Awesome.
And then so it's pretty cool. That's a fun one. And that takes us through Tuesday.
On the African species.
Say that again, sir.
Right there, you're talking about learning something new. Right there, I'd learn something new on the African species.
Yeah, it's a total mind. I go every year with my bow. Over there, we've got a CK Worldwide, so we have a place over there that we take clients to, and it's a total mind change for the full 15-hour flight. I'm thinking, okay, not you got to hit them where you think the shoulder blade is. You got to hit them where you think the shoulder blade is. It's not, the way they're built and the way that our North American species are built are totally different.
I mean, I think this whole program is just amazing. Everything I keep looking at, I'm just like, man, this just keeps going further and further and further into like the basic knowledge of hunting all the way up into, like you're saying, your rifle training, your archery classes, your shot placement, different things like that. So we'll get into those next. But I'm thinking, man, in this day and time, this is something that's needed more than ever because, like you all were talking there on Stephen Miller's podcast there, the Bow Hunting AZ, our population of new hunters is starting to drop off. We may see an increase in the people that are older getting into hunting more, but the newer kids and youth is dropping off. So we need this more than anything in this day and time.
Yeah, it's probably opportunity based too, right? I mean, how many inner city people, how many inner city kids or people get a chance to do what we do, I think about it all the time. I mean, I think about, I didn't ever realize it at the time how fortunate I was to grow up the way I grew up. And I try not to take that for granted now that I'm in my 40s. And I think back to the stuff that dad or granddad they were teaching me, and I didn't even realize they were teaching.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep. So
I got a lot smarter the older I got too.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. With age comes wisdom.
Yeah.
So, like, talking about this summit, do you guys, you supply all the bows, the guns, and all that. Can they bring their own if they have them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have people do that all the time. I just bought a new rifle. I need to sight it in. I don't know how to sight it in, so we're at the gun range. We'll do a little bit of that probably on whenever half of your group is going to the gun range. But we have that left over for Saturday too. So if we're kind of crunched for time and we're trying to get everybody making sure they're comfortable at the gun range, then we'll say, just leave it there, use our stuff. We know it's on, we know it's good. And then we'll bring everybody back Saturday and we'll watch one or two people with a brand new gun, learn how to sight in their rifle, learn how to mount their scope and sight the rifle in, and where are they at on the paper to begin with. And here's what you're looking to do. And so, like I said, I think that there's a lot more things that we probably do that I'm able to put into the document.
Yeah. Yeah. I was kind of, I was looking over that document there last week and I was like, man, this is really good. I mean, it amazes me how many things that you all go over in this. Cause there's places out there that offer things like this, but it's not that in depth and it doesn't give you the training and the skill placement that this does.
Well, but Mike, that goes back to the mission, right?
Yes.
We could condense this down, and a lot of people do, and that's great. Do one of those if you get an opportunity. People do anything, do whatever. Go to the FTW and go through their shooting school. Brittany Boddington and the She Hunt stuff, or the WOMA organization with Deb Ferns and those gals, and go learn how to shoot. All that stuff's great, but our mission was, again, when you're driving out of that gate, you're fully confident that you're a hunter now.
Yes. And
the only way to do that was to make it this kind of an intense kind of program. It's a lot of fun. It's not boot camp, at all. But we have to teach you these things in order for us to accomplish our mission.
I know me and Steven has talked about this. We talked about this on the podcast that we had him on, that episode there several months ago. You all actually have people come in from national brands that are high up in the hunting industry that have never hunted before.
Yeah, that's where our industry week, that's why we started industry week. The 3 weeks is the open week, and then women's week, and then the industry week. And it was surprising. I guess it shouldn't have been surprising, but it was sort of an epiphany when you realize that there's these huge companies, these big corporations, and there's these decision makers and these marketing people and all of these people, that haven't, they have the paper, they have the knowledge, they have the skills, but they don't have the experience of doing this. And they're helping these, they're running these huge companies. And so that's why we started Industry Week for anybody that's in the industry that need to get some training. So like I said, we've got Savage is sending 2 people this year. Numa's sending a lady this year. I think pretty sure Hornady Loophole So these companies, these huge companies that everybody, even non-hunters, have heard of, are sending people to this summit to get them spun up on. And hopefully that adds value to the company. Hopefully they go back and go,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think that's a very valuable thing for them to do that. That should be part of their introduction when they, like their employment package. If you haven't hunted and you haven't had this amount of experience, we're going to send you on this. And, that's a company expense that you could put in there for sure.
Hey, can you send me on this?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Too bad you're already a hunter.
Doesn't mean nothing. He said I'd learn something.
Yeah, we couldn't really, I don't think we could really pass that off as like a business opportunity.
I can play dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how to pick up a bow.
Hey, I'm reading the live chat here. Stephen Miller brought up a pretty good point on the blood tracking. You guys teach it. Do you put actual blood out and let your students and stuff look for it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So when
Man, that's cool.
We just to take you a little bit further into the so we got you through all of Tuesday. Wednesday morning we switch, the other half go to the rifle range, the other half go to the archery range. And then at lunch, our guides go out and they harvest a female species of, like I said, whatever population that we have a lot of that we need to help the numbers with. So let's just say it's an axis doe. They'll go harvest one of those. They'll bring it back to the skinning shed. They won't touch it. And then after lunch, everybody goes up and they're going to watch the guide go A to Z on this animal. And they're going to save some of that blood in a water bottle with a hole in it. And then they're going to go out and they're going to make a blood trail, just like they've seen every single day of their lives hunting at the Lazy CK and other places, just like you guys have seen.
Man,
so they're going to make a real blood trail, and we're just going to kind of show people what to look for and then kind of let them go.
That's so
and
good.
We'll make 2 or 3, blood trails for people to kind of follow. And then, what do you do when the guides always joke because they'll always have some flagging tape in their pocket. You guys know this, but you're going through the trees and you lost blood. You need it. People, I used to leave my hat and leave my binos and leave all this stuff. I've left a pair of binos out there in the dark. Lost it. Completely lost.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that takes you through pretty much Wednesday. We do have Numa come in and teach our gear class. Like I said before, that's Jen Molheim, and she comes in and goes through all of the different fabrics. And this is why you wear merino wool, and this is why you wear this. And, this is the kind of rain gear you need. And it's not, Numa has all this stuff, but anywhere you want to buy KUIU or Sitka or whatever your jam is, this is what you're looking for, and this is why. And that takes you all the way through Wednesday. So it's been about 2.5 days, and you've learned all of that so far.
So on that field dressing that you're talking about there, that's not only your basic field dressing. You go into caping it out, skinning, packing it out, quartering, deboning, everything. Like, you're out
not
there.
Yet. Not the last part. No, not yet, Mike. Sorry to cut you off there. They're going to teach you how to cape, skin, and gut it. Okay, but then it's going to sit whole without being quartered. It'll be fully caped out. She'll be fully caped out, right?
Okay.
So you need to know how to do that. But then that's going in the cooler because we have a real processor come in on Friday and grab that animal and show them. And they'll break the whole thing down.
Oh, okay.
They'll show them how to quarter it, how to pack it, what the different cuts are. This is what, people are sitting there and they're like, I order that in the restaurant all the time. I had no idea where that came from.
Yeah,
that's where it comes from on the animal.
That's awesome.
All the way down. And then they're going to teach them how to pack it, how to vacuum seal it, or how to wrap it up, pack it out in your pack, and they'll take of course the back straps and the tenders and some stuff. And we'll take that right into the lodge on Friday night. And our chef is going to teach them how to cook it.
I think it's funny, but we've grown up in hunting, all 3 of us basically. And I've never once sat there and thought, man, where does that piece of meat come from on the animal? Because it's kind of like one of them things. Ever since I've been a hunter, I've always been interested in looking at that, whether it come from a cow or deer or, whatever you're killing. I just think it's funny how there's people out there that doesn't even run through their head. until they get,
Well,
Right.
you know.
if you really think about it, though, Mike, there's some people out there that think their beef comes from the grocery store where it was made.
I know. It's like, man, I tell you, I don't know.
Or they don't understand that every, you're eating a steak, you're eating a muscle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a muscle.
Yeah.
It's all a muscle. You're eating a nice ribeye. That's a muscle, and this is where that comes from. This is the top end. This is the bottom end. This is the fillet. This is the T-bone. This is how all that works. So that's Friday. I mean, we kind of skipped it. We skipped the whole day there. On Thursday morning, you've been paired up. Half your classes. You guys have gotten all your shot stuff done. Thursday, you're paired up with a student and a guide, and you're going to go out and you're going to hunt for the first time on your own.
Nice.
Maybe not the first time, but you're going to go hunt on your own. So you're going to have one hunter, one observer, one guide. You're going to shoot your animal. You're going to take it back to the skinning shed, and you're going to cape, skin, and gut it with the guide. Your buddy standing there, but you're going to do it all on your own. Right there at the skinning shed on Thursday. And then Friday, we flip-flop that. So Friday, now your buddy's turn, and you're going to hold the binos or the video camera or whatever, and you're going to hunt.
Man, it's such an awesome experience. I mean, I just think it's great that we set it up like this so you could go through that, because now people that are listening get the actual, feeling that, man, I'm sitting here just listening to you, and I'm like, I want to be there.
Well, that's great.
Yep, I think it's great. So, lastly, let's get into some of the things that you do with meat preparation and cooking classes as well. So, after you've harvested the animal and you've done the field dressing and all that stuff, you get into the actual meat preparation and cooking classes as well. So, you hit everything right down to the cooking and putting it right to the table.
Yes, sir. Yep. And a lot of that's our chef. And so these cuts will come in whole right from the skinning shed, right from the Axis doe, the example we use. We'll bring these in, and he'll say, okay, well, he or she, this time, right now our chef's James Pierce, awesome, unbelievable chef. He makes braised beef ribs. Like, dude, it is incredible. I've never even liked beef ribs before this guy. But anyway, he's like, okay, this is how I'm trimming, and this is why I'm trimming what I'm trimming, and this kind of fat, this fat's not renderable. So you want to get this out of there, or whatever, all the way down to this is how I brine it, or this is how I season it, or this is what I do when I'm cooking wild game. Certainly, Steve Rinella's the best. That cookbook, or some of his cookbooks, are in the kitchen in the lodge. But our chef's taking them through kind of hands on. What to do and what not to do, and all this stuff you hear, and what's not necessary, et cetera, et cetera.
Man, that's just great. I mean, I think it's amazing that we can go straight from the whole basics of hunting to the field to the table. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, that's the start, really. I mean, you're getting your safety course done, and then you're cooking it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're doing literally everything that you have to do to have a proper harvest.
Yep, sure am. Well, Alan, we sure appreciate you coming on this evening.
Oh man, the pleasure's been all mine. Obviously, you guys know my passion for this program. I kind of call it my baby. I could talk about it all day long. I love it. I love being able to teach people. Like I said, what we kind of take for granted. It's a really good feeling. The best. It's like in Christmas. At Christmas, what's the best feeling you have at Christmas is the stuff you get. It's the stuff you get.
Yeah.
And that's how we feel during the whole week.
Man,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I tell you, it's awesome.
When I was a kid, it was what you got.
You can definitely tell that you have a passion for it, and it's an amazing program that you all have. And I think it's awesome. If you all have a chance to check this out at some point in your life, you need to do it. I mean, it's an amazing program from what we've heard this evening. So, Alan, we really appreciate you coming on, and be sure to check them out there at the LazyCKRanch.com. Any other ways that they can check you out? Give us some phone numbers out there for people and listeners to hear.
Sure, yeah. Our main office line is area code 830-640-3200, and they can email me, Alan, ALLEN, at LazyCKRanch.com. Check out our website, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the whole gamut. If you Google Lazy CK Ranch, you'll find us.
All righty. Well, everybody, thanks for listening this evening. Alan, again, thank you so much for coming on. We sure appreciate you and telling us about the Future Hunter Summit there at the Lazy CK Ranch. You all have an awesome thing going.
Pleasure was mine. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this evening. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, and about 18 other different networks. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. So be sure to check out thelazyckranch.com for more information. I don't know how you can get any more information than what we gave tonight, but be sure to check out this episode and share it with your friends. So check them out, lazyckranch.com. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night. This segment of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by AMG Network Hosting, LLC, a national independent agent for most major telecommunication service providers. If your business is in need of internet, phones, credit card processing, let AMG Hosting help you compare options. They work with over 100 national carriers, and they can help you choose the best option for your needs. Our independence means we are loyal to our customers, not a brand or a company. Call us today at 304-608-3653 or visit us at amgnhconsulting.com. amgnhconsulting.com. Phone number again is 304-608-3653. AMG Network Hosting, LLC.